Do not adjust your screen. This is not a mirror. The other Earth was seen tonight. They always said the sky could be trusted. Stars would stay where they were taught to be. The moon would keep its patient path. The sun would arrive on time like a parent with a key. That was the lesson. That was the comfort. At 2:11 UTC, trust was removed. A feed was leaked from an observatory that asked not to be named. The frame looked wrong, like two night skies had been stacked together. It was zoomed, focused, and then someone whispered, "That's a coastline. That's ours." At first, a reflection was blamed. Light tricks, ice crystals, mirage. 1,000 fragile explanations were wrapped around one heavy truth. The continents matched. There was our western seaboard bruised by storm. There was the broken tooth of a peninsula you've flown over. There was the scar of a river you can name in your sleep. The other Earth was found because it did not try to hide. It breathed in plain sight. Scientists were summoned. The language was careful. Apparent duplication, they wrote. Transient symmetry. The words built a fence around panic, but panic stepped through anyway. A second feed arrived, then a third. Amateurs with backyard telescopes pointing at the dark and seeing themselves looking back. People sent photographs that got deleted before they finished uploading. People sent videos that wouldn't attach. A pattern emerged. The closer the footage came to honesty, the faster it disappeared. Here's the part you will not believe. It moved. Not much. A nudge, like a sleeping thing shifting its weight. The clouds on its surface did not drift. They reset, as if an unseen hand slid them into a neater shape. The night over its cities brightened like a throat being cleared. You will be told not to humanize a planet. You will be told this is weather. Repeat that if it helps. Watch the next frames anyway. Between the first and the third mark, a coastline lit up. One curl at a time, exactly where ours does, but not when ours does. Traffic maps here were empty. The other one was busy. Call it a time offset. Call it a delay. The word duplication becomes harder to hold when the copy moves before you do. Phones began to ring with dead air that sounded like breathing. Radios filled with a powdery hiss. When slowed, it carried a rhythm like speech. Not words, not yet, just the shape of a sentence learning its mouth observations, redacted. Cloud bands resolving into familiar storms. City lattices blinking in non-local sync. Ocean glare where our ocean is dark. Seismic echoes recorded here with no local source. Seismographs twitched in towns with no fault lines. Needles rose and fell like the planet was listening to someone else's footsteps. The data was shared, then locked. You can still see it if you know where to look. A thin tremor, repeating every 9 minutes, as if a giant hand were tapping an invisible glass. This is where the denial deepened. You were told to go outside and look, and you did, and the sky looked normal because the eyes in your head are anchors tied to habit. The second Earth hides behind daylight, behind the sun, behind the discipline of your calendar. It doesn't need to be visible to be real. It only needs to be aligned. Someone asked if it means we're safe. The answer cannot be given, so here is a different one. The rules were changed without your permission. A planet was added to your life like a second reflection in a bathroom mirror. You know the feeling, when you catch a shape standing where you are not. It is that, but outside, and larger than the sum of all your rooms. Do not call it a discovery. Discoveries are passive. This was an introduction. Your name was said back to you by a mouth you cannot see. The other Earth did not arrive. It woke up, which means it was always there. Sleeping behind the bright, practicing our weather, wearing our cities like clothes laid out the night before. Public advisory. Avoid prolonged sky watching after midnight. Ignore calls with no audio. Do not reply to silence. If you see your city twice, do not choose which is real. If you dream of falling into a brighter ocean, do not follow. You will want proof. You will want a name. Names make cages. Cages make pets. This cannot be kept, not by us, not by the ones who mapped it and hoped it would stay flat on paper. Here is all that can be offered tonight, a direction and a precaution. Look where you know the sun will be when it is not. Look past that, into the part of the sky that feels heavier than it should. That weight is not weather. That weight is attention. Breathe. Hold your hands where you can see them. Say your street name out loud. Listen for an echo that does not return. This is episode 1. The discovery is not the point. The point is that discovery went both ways. We saw it saw us seeing it. Do not wave, do not welcome, do not ask which one you are. The other Earth woke up, and it already knows your schedule.